Hi, welcome back. Today's session we are going to see about what is meant by method overriding, right? Since we already know about what is meant by inheritance and what are the types of inheritance, so it is a good time to discuss about what is meant by method overriding. Okay, let me create a class file to show an example. Um, I am creating, let me say, overriding, overriding concepts, something like that. Yeah, so okay, so first let us understand what is meant by overriding, right? So method overriding is nothing but if the child class overriding the method of the parent class, then that is called method overriding, right? So you can say like um, child class overriding the method of method of parent class, right? That is called method overriding. So how, what are the, there are some rules, right, in order to achieve that. The rules should be both classes, I mean the child class should inherit, right, inherit parent class. That means only this is possible in inheritance, right? And the second rule is both parent and child class should have same method name as well as parameters. Parameters, whatever, how many parameters you are passing in the um, parent class, the same parameters should be there in the child class, and that the same method name, even the method name should be same. So these are the two rules in method overriding, right? So that is what I'm going to do in this session. Now let me create a class called base class, something like that, right? I am creating like this. Now I am going to create a method, say uh, method as method uh, one, something like that, right? I'm creating a method. So I'm creating like system dot out dot println. I'm saying yes, um, this is method one, right? So now what I'm going to do is I am going to create here the same method, method one, same thing. I'm going to do system dot out dot println. This is method two, something like that. I'm overriding it. Now see what the first rule is saying. I have to inherit the parent class. That is the first rule, right? The first rule, I have to inherit it. So let me inherit it. We know that how to inherit a child class from the parent class just by using the extends keyword. Extends keyword, base class. Now the child class has inherited the base class. Now the second rule is saying parent and child class should have the same method name and parameters. Parent class have the same method names, method 1, the child class having the same method name, method 1, right? And there is no parameters here. Here also there is no parameter. That is how I overridden that. Now, now to access this, we know that public static void main string arguments. You can access, in order to access it, you need to create an object, class name, object name equal to new of class name, right? Now object dot method 1. Now if I run this, it will print only method 2. It will not print method 1 because the method 1 have been this method, the child class has overridden the parent class. Let us run and see what is coming over here. You can see that it is printing the method 2 because the child class has overridden the parent class. This is one of the simple example we have seen that. Now let me create one more example to understand even better, right? What is a real application where this method overriding has been useful. Let me create a method name called let me say as test, something like that. I'm creating test, um, 2, something like that I'm creating. Okay, now let me create a class called class uh, shapes, I can say, or shapes, right? And in this shapes class, I'm creating a method draw, right? I'm creating a method draw that I'm saying uh, drawing mm, polymorphism, something like that I'm saying. Now I am going to create another class called square, right? In this I'm going to say as same method public draw. I will say that system dot out dot println uh, drawing square, right? Now to get this, see, automatically it's saying this duplicate class. Already square is there. Maybe we can um, give us square one, something like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend shapes, right? Now another class, let me copy this same thing. Let me create a rectangle one, right? Now if you see here, I am seeing, yes, I'm going to say as rectangle, not rectangle. Now these two class files I have created, both is extending the base class shapes, right? Now in this test class, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create public static void main. Now if I call square class, it should say as drawing square. If I call rectangle class, it should say as drawing rectangle. That is what the overriding is pretty much used. So what I'm going to do is not to create, not to call this method same. All the base method is having draw, square method, square class is having draw method, and rectangle class is also draw method, because that is how the rules of overriding, right? So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to create an object for square class. So I'm going to say square object one equal to new of square object one. So object one dot, if we say draw, same thing I'm going to say as rectangle object 2 equal to new of rectangle 1 object 2 dot draw. Now if I run this draw will print drawing square. The same draw, if I call rectangle object, it will print as drawing rectangle. Let us see this. Let us run and see this. Yep, you can see that drawing square and drawing rectangle. So that is the purpose of overriding. So the same method name, but I'm overriding with different classes through inheritance. That is called method overriding. And hope you understood this with these two examples. So in our next session we will be dealing about a pretty much important concept, that is interfaces. We already known that in inheritance, while we are discussing, I told that multiple inheritance will be achieved only through interfaces. That is what we are going to discuss in very detail in the coming sections. Watch out for that. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.